Hey, I love RunnerSpace too. I think that's probably our best show introduction to date, but I know it was the cutest. Certainly cuter than last week's. Alright, it's a
awkward video of the week.
Well, folks, it's here. The Nike Border Clash meet is this Sunday, where the top high school runners in Oregon square off against the top high school runners in Washington. And that's why, as a native Oregonian, I'm wearing this Oregon Border Clash beanie to support my team. But wait! Washington has been the dominant team at Border Clash. I can't decide. I think the best way to do this would be a team battle, like the battle between Edward and Jacob. Let's do a rock, paper, scissors battle between Team Oregon and Team Washington. Here we go. Hey. This is getting ridiculous. I guess great minds think alike. It's the RunnerSpace Rundown. The RunnerSpace Network side of the week is BorderClash.com. The 12th Border Clash is this Sunday, November 21st at 10 a.m. Check out the deep archives of results, photos, and videos, including video bios from the athletes who competed last year and for the athletes who will be competing this year. And of course, it's mandatory that you watch the live webcast of this on BorderClash.com at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's the high school rundown. The first 3 Nike Cross regional meets were this weekend. The top 2 teams from each gender automatically qualify for the Nike Cross Nationals final, and individual qualifiers are the top 5 who are not on a qualifying team. At the Midwest region, as far as individuals are concerned, it was a repeat of the Illinois State meet. On the guys' side, Lucas Versbicas, who won the Illinois State meet last week, won again, and this time he managed to take down Chris Derrick's course record, running a 14:53. Jack Driggs, second place in last week's Illinois State meet, was second here with a 15:05. He outkicked the defending Midwest regional champ, Zach Wills of Ohio, who was third in a 15:06, and the York boys were the team champions. So far, York is the only team to have qualified for every single Nike Cross Nationals meet. Caleb Beatty, also last week's Illinois State champ, won on the girls' side in a 17:45, and the Palatine girls of Indiana beat out Carmel, Indiana by 2 points, 72-74. On to the Northwest region, held in Boise, Idaho. On the guys' side, the U.S. number 4 ranked North Central boys of Washington won with 76 points, taking their 4th straight NXN Northwest victory. Lewis and Clark, also of Washington, took the other qualifying spot, led by the individual champion Kenji Barrett. He was the Washington 4A state champ last week, and the girls team title was taken by Jesuit High School of Oregon, who got their 4th straight NXN qualifier. Katie Knight beat out Emmy Eloise Neal with a course record 17:34. She won the Bob Furman Invitational here earlier this season. And in the Heartland region, on the girls' side, the Wisconsin D2 champ Allie Woodward took the individual title in a 17:36, and Eden Prairie of Minnesota beat out Dowling Catholic of Iowa for the team championship. The South Dakota 2A champ Tony Smorgowitz won the guys' race in a 15:17, and Wazata rounded out a Minnesota team title sweep, winning with 113 points. Of course, you can check out all Nike Cross regional action at the official Nike Cross Nationals site, NikeCrossNationals.com. In the New York State meet, the U.S. number 1 ranked girls team Fayetteville Manlius scored a perfect 15 to beat out the U.S. number 2 ranked Saratoga. And lastly, in New Jersey, Megan Venables broke the 27-year-old Holmdel Park course record by running a 17:28, winning by 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's the College Pro Rundown. Well, NCAA D1 regional meet weekend is over and the final coaches poll rankings are in. Yep, that's right, these are the ones that'll tell us exactly how the NCAA meet will go. A couple upsets this weekend. First off, at the Midwest Regionals, the number 1 ranked Oklahoma State men were upset by Oklahoma. Oklahoma won 43-50 with all 5 of their scores in the top 15. This moved them up from number 8 to number 6 in the national rankings and dropped Oklahoma State to number 2. Oklahoma State's Colby Lowe was the overall champion at 29:30 for 10K. The women's race was dominated by number 12 Iowa State, winning with 35 points. And another notable upset in the West region, as the number 3 ranked Oregon men took down the now number 1 ranked Stanford. A very close battle as Oregon came out on top by 2 points, 63-65. Stanford's usual 1-2-3 punch took 7, 8, and 9. Oregon's Luke Piskedra and Matt Centrowitz finished in front in 4th and 6th. The overall champ was Trevor Dunbar of Portland in a 29:57. In the women's race, the previously number 11 ranked Washington beat out Oregon, Stanford, and Arizona, 3 teams which they lost to at the Pac-10 championships. Oregon's Jordan Hesse was the overall champ in a 20:01 for 6K. At the Mountain Regional, the Australian David McNeil, who will be a contender for the individual NCAA title, won his third straight regional title running at 29:24. And the number 5 ranked New Mexico got the win, taking places 4 through 7 with 4 British athletes. New Mexico swept the team titles, also winning on the girls' side, but by only 2 points over Texas Tech, 53-55. Colorado was close behind with 59. The number 2 ranked Florida State women took places 2 through 4 in the South region to win with a very low 24 points. In the Mid-Atlantic region on the women's side, the number 1 ranked Villanova took down the pre-nationals champions, number 3 ranked Georgetown, 29-40. They were led by the overall champ Sheila Reed in a 1934. The Wisconsin men put up a solid performance at Great Lakes, winning with 32 points. And of course, defending NCAA champion Sam Chalonga of Liberty took the Southeast regional title with a 29-55. It's the Road Racing Rundown. Good news, everybody. Haile Gebrselassie has officially come out of retirement. The legendary runner announced last week after a disappointing New York City marathon that he would be retiring. But after some more consideration and a few days on the countryside, he's decided to continue competing. But first, we'll focus on fixing the knee injury that forced him to drop out in New York. Also forced to drop out in New York was the Canadian Simon Bayrou, who was making his marathon debut. He was one of the athletes in the Rookies vs. the World video series. Around mile 23, he collapsed from lightheadedness. He then was picked up by an ambulance, which remarkably got into an accident with a taxi cab, had to get into a different ambulance, and it took more than a half hour before he got to a hospital where he was allowed food and drink. Not a great first experience. At the Turin Marathon in Torino, Italy, there was a non-East African winner for the first elite open marathon this fall. That's right, it was Ruggero Pertile of Italy who got the win in a 2:10:58. The women's race was won by Kenyan Priska Jeptu in a personal best 2:27:02. On to the Rock and Roll San Antonio Marathon and Half Marathon in Texas. On the men's side, Kenyan Edward Tabut dominated. He won by almost 5 minutes in a 2:17:04. The women's race was won by Bernard Lagat's little sister, Evelyn Lagat. She even more dominated, winning by almost 10.5 minutes in a 2:42:45. And that's all, folks. It's time for a quick tip, creating a Racetime photo at RunnerSpace.com/NikeHub. There's a few ways you can do this. 1, click on the Racetime link, then press Upload a new photo in the upper right. Choose Upload from Desktop, browse to select your image, and then hit Upload. Now you can adjust the look of the photo using the controls on the right, and enter your time. You could also enter your place or nothing at all. When you're done, hit Save Racetime Photo in the bottom right, then give it a title. Another way of doing this, you can select any photo anywhere on RunnerSpace, including from your profile, and click the red button either above or below the photo. You don't have to be logged in to do this, and be sure to click the Facebook like button in the upper right. Well, that does it for this week, and as always, I like to learn at least one new thing from each episode. This week, it's that battling oneself in a game of rock, paper, scissors isn't the best way of making decisions. RunnerSpace Live, signing out.